Yes, people. What's going on? Happy Monday. What's going on? Welcome back to United View, man. What's going on, people? Top of the morning to all of you, man. I hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are blessed. Hope you've had a good weekend, etc., etc. Mixed weekend results-wise. But I wanted to do this Flex's View live, just us guys. I think it's important. Man. I do. I think it's important to do this. And I just want to make this known, first of all. This ain't about apologizing. This ain't about, trying to point score. This ain't about you versus them versus me versus... It's not about none of that. It's actually a calm discussion, in my opinion, of where I think we're at. And we all need a lot of calm, including me. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, someone said they weren't that bad of a weekend. Liverpool getting smashed as well. Shout out Joe Blackman. I see you there, bro. Terrence says Liverpool lost. It was a decent enough weekend. I hear you, bro. All Elite says thought this was going to be a pre-record. Nah, no pre-record here, brother. We are live. Yeah, you are live. All Elite says just remember, Fleck, before you start, you are not going to be able to please and reach out to everyone. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That's gone 100%. All that's good advice, though. That's very, very good advice. Shout out Wrap Up Heaven, always here. I see you, bro. Big up to you. And disclaimers sorted. Let's go, says Chris Cross. Live to face the music, brother, says she as well. So did All Elite. I hear you lot. Right. We need calm and we must stop doing certain things. This situation that we're in, what I've realized even more over the last month, to be fair, is that it's kind of ever changing and it's ever changing because of our emotion. Do you know what I'm saying? Our emotion dictates these big peaks and troughs. You know what I'm saying? It does. But what we have to realize is we can get help with the peaks and troughs, the ups and downs, the cravings to want to actually keep, moaning, and you feel like you can't keep a lid on it. That's what it feels like. It feels like you can't keep a lid on it. From bad results to good results, you're up and you're down. You just want to contour them. You just want to, you just want some continuity. You just want some optimization. Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own, OWEN, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months, and KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds, and Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds, and Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work. Shout out to each and every single one of you. Big up yourselves. Listen, you got to try with the segues, man. You got to find a way. Like Jeremy says there, inner Owen. Joe's just hating on man, said nice try, Flex, but it ain't like Owen. No one can do it how Owen does it. Owen is the master of the segue. But listen, you got to try and put your own spin on things, innit? That's how it runs. But big up to Oxford Natural. Of course, you got to scan the QR code right over there. See it? That's all right there. All the link is in the video description below. You can get your Optimum Day for those cravings that I was talking about. Those peaks and troughs. I mean, I was using a football analogy, but it is true. In terms of your weight and your sugar cravings, your Optimum Day will help you with that. And your Optimum Night. See it there? That will help you with your sleep as well, to get that good quality sleep alongside your changed diet, your changed lifestyle. Do not try to take these supplements, okay, these natural supplements, and think that you're just going to lose a bag of weight, because it doesn't work like that. It's alongside your good diet, your exercise, and all of them things there. But yeah, shout out to the guys at Oxford Natural. As always, you can get up to 70% off using code UV for your fitness and health and weight loss journey. But back to what I was saying, because although I was having a little bit of a laugh with the segue, what I mean is exactly what I was saying. Game by game, we're doing this, right, emotionally. And I even know that, like, I was seeing some people that were like slagging people off for saying nothing's changed, nothing's changed, you know, everything's just doing all right, because the manager are the same people I'm seeing the other day going, oh, we haven't got better, don't kid yourself. That's all that's happening. So people are just up and down. The same man that can say on one day, oh, people who are, you know, saying that something's changed are deluded, everything's go, you know, all that's happened is the players got better, or they're understanding things a bit more. Fast forward to drawing against Spurs, they're the man crying, saying, oh, we haven't changed, nothing's improved. Like, we can't make up our minds. That's my point. My point is we, everyone, me included, it's very difficult to make up our mind. And actually, I say we and everyone, there are some people that actually can do it. There are some people that literally keep on this calm level, that are like, right, you can't go too high, you can't go too low, and you can't go too crazy. Now, I also saw after the game against Spurs, again, having calmed down, but I also saw after the game against Spurs, which I couldn't believe until I sort of looked back at the context. Obviously, I was busy in the ground, but there was loads of people like cussing all the subs, like just saying, "Oh, he changed it. The game management. He shouldn't have made them subs. He shouldn't have done this. He shouldn't have done that." And it's like, the subs weren't why it. Again, in my opinion, the subs weren't why we didn't win that game. You can say I think the individuals were, you know, with what they did, but it wasn't the subs. I think it's clear actually that, like, the quality, it's simply just the quality, you know, or lack of. Do you know what I mean? Like, Ugarte was a terrible sub, says MA, which I get, but you saw Casemiro sort of tiring. Who else are we going to bring on? You got to bring on something or someone to try and do something. You know what I mean? Cunha arguably should have come off earlier. You know, Sesko comes on, could have taken his chances, wasn't kind of sharp enough. Mount, when he came on, you know, set up a chance or two. Like, but I didn't look at that and go, Amorim, you F this. I was looking at it as the game was going on in the second half and going, you can see that Spurs are in the ascendancy. You can see that we're probably going to concede. So, Ruben, you have to respond. And he did respond. And you can see from the quality of subs, even though their subs were like Odobert and Udogie, like, their subs changed the game. That's what changed the game. And when we tried to go to our bench, the drop-off is not there. And even with our first 11, like you say, with Casemiro and Bruno, like, you're not controlling games. We're not controlling games. So that's actually a personnel issue. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a transfer issue as well. We'll get to Ruben and the tactics, and I'll talk about that. But this is why what you get is, it's a mixture of the starting team. So when people are saying this is what I mean about the calmness. This is exactly what I mean. When people are telling you apologize after winning 3 games and saying, see, everything's right, and see, nothing's changed, we're actually really good, and you go, well, hold on, hold on. Yeah, shout out Heartless Crew. If you know, you know. Hold on. Yeah, you say, hold on a little bit. Hold on a little bit, because we still got massive problems. We're still not controlling games. We're still conceding silly games. And the quality in depth is not good. Although we got 1 game a week and a bigger squad to choose from, like, the quality is still a big drop-off when we make certain changes. So you have to look at that. Then you say, but the people that were going mad saying standards are dropped. Standards are on the floor. Like, oh, look at us celebrating a draw last minute against Forest, man. They're in the bottom 3. Look at us celebrating a draw in the last minute against Spurs. Like, we still can't beat these guys. And you go, well, hold on a minute. That doesn't mean the standards are on the floor. That's just where we're at right now. And if you open it up, you go, well, last 5 games, we haven't lost a game. We were losing every other game before. I mean, sometimes back-to-back losses, couldn't put a run together of any form of consistency. And what I've realized that is most important actually in this season, really, obviously the overall goal, what's most important is getting back into Europe. Like that's the overall goal for the season. But the overall goal, like in the short term, is actually stability. It's actually stability. Now, looking and searching for that stability will come with mishaps. The ones that we're seeing, the same naivety why we can't keep clean sheets, the same naivety why we can't go to kill the game. Amrim spoke about that afterwards. The same naivety where our game management doesn't seem to be quite where it is. And that brings on the emotion, me included. I'm been there. I do it, bro. I do it. But when you look at the table as to where we are in the league, we're if you know, I know we could be a little bit higher, but we're about par of where we want to be. And I'm this is me talking to me, really, if anything. Like I'm not saying that Liverpool are the measuring stick because they're not having a good season. But all the teams that we would want to be around to get to where we would want to get to, because we're not in the title race, we're in the right spot. Let's just take out Arsenal and Man City, and we didn't think this would happen to Liverpool. Chelsea, Sunderland's an anomaly. I mean, God knows how long they're going to keep going for, but they are playing really, really well. So fair play to them. But let's just add them in it right now. Spurs, Villa, then it's us. Then look at Liverpool. They're on the same points. Look at Bournemouth. They're on the same points. Palace just a point below us. It's very condensed from 3rd to 9th. 3rd to 10th, really. Not even that, actually. You might even put Brighton in there, but then Brentford are on the same points as Brighton. From 12th, what flipping heck, ever. There has to be a cut-off point somewhere. It's getting ridiculous. But I really, from 13th to 3rd, is not that much in it. There's 5 points. There's 5 points from 3rd to 13th. And if you take out, you know what I mean, Everton, who are a little bit of a point adrift. You know, let's go to Brentford because let's go to the teams that are in one game of us. Well, that's Everton as well. Who we've got next, really. So what you see my point? It's very tight, guys. It's very tight. We've got a goal difference of +1, which I didn't realize the other day as well. So when you look at it on face value, and you say, all right, by November the 10th, you'll be on 18 points, and that would be level on points with 5th, which can get you Champions League, or 1 point off top 4, which is what Sunderland are on, or 2 points behind Chelsea, who are 3rd. Like, you take it. You take it. Now, don't get me wrong. The only thing that can make that be is going on the type of run that we've gone on. It's nothing amazing. It's nothing perfect. It's nothing that we're back or we've turned a corner or anything like that. It's just just brings a little bit of stability. It takes away, which we still find a way to do it, by the way, which is ironic. I was going to say it takes away that after each game we don't lose our shit. That still happens because we're just emotional. We're fans, social media, X, etc., etc. Nothing takes away from that emotion after each and every game because, you know, you always feel like we could be doing better. People go, if we didn't miss 10 penalties, if we would have just seen out the last 2 games, that would have been an extra 4 points. Where would we have been with an extra 4 points? Would be 2nd. You know what I mean? Or 3rd. You know? What are we? Yeah, we'd be level on points with Man City. Obviously, they got a way superior goal difference. We'd be joint 2nd if we just held on. Do you know what I'm saying? But it shows us that actually we're about where we want to be. If in the summer, if you said, I said we just have to become a decent football team and keep pace, you know, for top 6. For me, I was saying you've got to get back into Europe. You've got to get top 6. Now, I know that could be Conference League or whatever, or Europa League, but we have to be going there. And then as the season goes on, the way it's going, our aspiration should be to get in the Champions League, should be getting the top 4/5 right now, the way it's going, because, you know, the start, you can only go off the start to the season and you only have to wait for evidence to see how it goes. But the way it's going, we have every chance of trying to push for that. Now, we could come up short. Like someone said AFCON there. The wrap-up heaven says you got AFCON there. We could fall short because, like you say, we're not actually playing well. And this could, in moments, we're not playing well. And this could actually you know, come back to bite us in the backside. It could. Maybe it could. You know, there you go, two Bruno penalties away from second. But that one's weird as well, though, because you say 2 Bruno penalties away from second, but the one he missed first was the one to make it 1-0. So he missed that against Fulham. But the game went on, obviously, and then we did score first. We went 1-0 up when Lenny Yoro headed the ball off the back of, who was it, Moniz? And then we was 1-0 up. Then what happened? We dropped off and allowed Fulham to equalise. So although Bruno missed that penalty, it's still the game management and other things as to why we didn't actually get 3 points. Because whether we went 1-0 up when Bruno scored or going 1-0 up when we actually scored, which was later in the game, second half, it should essentially be easier to maybe see it out because there's less time on the clock. So you can always, do you know what I mean? The Brentford one was to make it 2-2. That was to make it 2-2, and they should have had a red card, you know, small margins. So, you know, there you go. But like Manish says, so it would have been 2-1 and LOL. I hear that because look, we can't predict it. I'm just saying, him missing the penalty, we still went on to go 1-0 up. But I get it. If he scores the penalty, just the confidence goes up, and it could be a different game. The truth is, we'll never know. There's no point even talking about it. But I hear that. But yeah, like Peter says, the second one against Brentford was the one, because that's felt like a momentum shifter. You score that penalty, like he said, 20 minutes to go, 2-2. Probably should have got a man sent off. Even if they didn't, you felt like the confidence would have been there. You miss it, it's small margin. So 100%. But, you know, Bruno got us 3 points in the last minute against Burnley as well. Do you know what I mean? So he's going up and down. He's like about par. For every 2 good things he does 2 wrong things. Like, he wasn't playing very well against Spurs, in my opinion. Wasn't his best game by far. I don't think he was very good. However, and then he's taking corners and wasn't missing the first man, poor deliveries, and he gets that one delivery to get us a point right to the back post. It swings and roundabouts, but that type of inconsistency is exactly what we're talking about why it's going to be hard for us. But all we can do is just try to keep pace, people. That's all we can actually do. You know, we have to stop the point scoring, and I know this, and there's people, I saw some tweet yesterday that tried to dig up Scott Saunders' tweet when he was talking about Ollie, and like, I don't understand why there's this culture within our fan base of like wanting to just shit on other people and be right, and I told these lot or them lot over there who think that, and these lot over there who think. Why does it exist? And to be fair, there's no point getting too mad about it, because it will still exist. I'm just saying, for me, because I've put myself in this, like the title says, we must stop this, including me. I ain't got no moral high ground. I've been part of this. I'm just trying to take the step back to go, you know what? You got to just go with this game by game. Like, that's it. Just game by game. Because actually, I was on commentary on TalkSport with Stuart Pearce, and he said something after the game. He said it on air, and we were talking about it afterwards. And he's right. He was like, obviously, once everything calms down, and I know like some people would disagree with this, but he was like, both managers, like Frank and Amram, they'll get in the changing room in the training ground next day, i.e. Sunday at the time, and they'll just kind of like take a sigh of relief and say, well, we take the point, we move. Take the point, we move. Because I know it's if, buts, and maybes, but you get a draw, you're undefeated. Amram said himself, his standards were high. He said it was 2 points dropped. I believe it's 2 points dropped instead of a point gained. But you look at it last minute where you're about to get no points and you get one. But then you take the draw and then you go, right, next game, you beat Everton. What type of matches are going on next game? Let's just paint some pictures of how it could look. Everton, difficult game, yeah? But let's just be positive and say we're going to win it. Oh, we don't play till Monday night as well. That's shit, isn't it? But anyway, who's playing who? Newcastle City, there's something there. Spurs are playing Arsenal. Can't see Spurs getting anything out of that. Villa are playing Leeds away, never know. Brighton, Brentford, they'll cancel each other out probably. Liverpool got Forest, but it's at home. They'll probably beat them. Who knows, actually. Who else is there? Fulham. Sunderland got Fulham away. Never know. I just think that you beat Everton, and all of a sudden, again, it could look different depending on results. I think we'll definitely go above Spurs if we beat Everton. because by the time we play, I'm almost certain Arsenal would have beat them. But all we can do is look after ourselves. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Everton will be better. But Everton have been up and down. Like, they went on a little bad run under the radar, to be fair, where people didn't really realise that they were on a bit of a dodge run. What were Everton on? They drew against Sunderland. They beat Fulham last time. Drew against Sunderland. Got bopped 3-0 by Spurs before that. Lost against Man City 2-0 before that. And they beat Everton. They drew West Ham. They've been a loss to Liverpool. Then drew against Villa. A lot of draws. They haven't been great. They've been all right. They've been okay. Started off well, and they've just been okay. Exactly. You can see Villa drawing to Leeds, maybe. Everton won't be easy at all. There are no easy games in this league, which is why we just have to take each win as it comes, each game as it comes. But if we can beat Everton after drawing the last two, get back onto, at home, we do look a lot better. It's the away games, obviously, barring Anfield, where look what we did there, look what we managed to do there, which was incredible. Like, we still got an Achilles heel. That's why when everyone was saying, say sorry and all of this after Anfield, this is why we had to humble ourselves, because we've then gone on to Forest, couldn't win, then gone on to Spurs, and for the love of God, still can't beat that team. Hate that team now. Do you know what I mean? From winning positions, by the way, from winning positions. So I think it's a mixture of what I have also seen is that we've got to try and do something in January, man. We have to. Like, central midfield in January is just such a must, bro. It's such a must. I'd even say wing back as well, if we can. That's probably pushing it. But there's got to be something we can do, like an opportunistic sign-in, just something to give us a little bit more, either a loan or just like something low cost. If we can get one of the A targets, then great. One of the primary targets, then great. But I know that's going to be beyond us. We're not going to be able to get Wharton or Anderson or anyone like that. I have seen a little bit on João Gomez potentially being up for sale, because Wolves probably struggled to keep him, probably struggled to stay in the division. 24-year-old central midfielder, just got his first call up as well, I think, to the Brazilian squad. Anytime I've seen him, he looks all right. He looks nice. It's interesting with players like him, because you're not sure what he looks like if he goes up a level. But he is handy. I don't mind him. He is handy. Peter says, let's get a super chat for that, actually. Peter says, if anyone said we'll be unbeaten in 5, 3 of them are away games to Liverpool, Forest and Spurs, I would have put them in a mental institution. 11 and 15 is great. That's true. That's true. That's really true, bro. Unbeaten in 5 and 3 of them were away to Liverpool, Forest and Spurs. It's true. Like, you would have taken that last season. Billion%, Peter. And that's the thing. Like, but when you do that, some people push back and like, oh, that's a loser's mentality. It's on the floor, this, that, and the other, standards and stuff. But I don't necessarily mean that, bro. It don't. I'm with you, Peter. Big up to you. Just become the latest member of the UV Members Club as well. Big up to you, Peter, man. Love. And he says 2 Bruno penalties away from second, which we discussed a little bit earlier. Shout out to you, All Elite. It says 30 years plus, actually, years of supporting United. I'll always be vexed dropping 2 points and missing the chance to close the gap on first. But for now, I need to be realistic. 100%. I think that's it. Like, traditionally, with what's on our badge, bro, yeah? What's on our badge, we know that the entirety of what we stand for shouldn't be this. But there has to be some building blocks to get back to where we want to get to, and some small steps forward. You know what I mean? And there will be some steps backward. And I just think that we just need to highlight when we're doing all right, highlight the things that are wrong, and kind of stay. Do you know what? The fence fleck is the one that probably needs to come back in. We kind of still need to be on the fence of it all, which is, and when I say on the fence, I don't mean just changing your opinion every single time, or maybe not knowing how to feel. But I mean, fence is probably the wrong word, but I mean just somewhere in the middle is what I'm basically saying. That's where I think we need to be. That's where I am. I'm somewhere in the middle where I can see the things that are wrong. I can see the things that I've been mad at that people have told me to keep calm about and tried to tell me that's all right because of XG. Them things are still there. But what I can also see is the things that people told me not to worry about, because actually it isn't as bad as I thought it was, or especially at this point of the season. There are some positives. There are things that need to be changed. Amorim is, steady in the ship, to say, you know what I mean? Which doesn't transpire to me as everything's going to be all right. Amorim's going to bring us back. This is why I need to listen. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Bring it back. It's somewhere here in the middle, bro. In the middle. Shout out to Show, as always. Big love. Says Amorim needs a better plan away from home. All of the away performances by Liverpool have been very poor. Second most long balls after Wolves. We need more. And I did notice this, which is a big problem, Shaw. I hear you on that. But did you notice when we started to try and play short again against Spurs? I've seen some people posting up clips, and I noticed it in the ground. We just can't do it, bro. We just can't do it. I don't know whether it's just because the players aren't good enough or whether the system of playing out of those actions just ain't the one. I don't know. But the opposition senses it and they just press us into a corner and we end up turning the ball over. And it's just so much more simpler to go long, especially away from home when we don't have as much of the ball. So it is, and Amram's bringing it up, that there's a problem away from home about the game management and not being able to go for the kill. I also think when we're 1-0 up, like we was against Forest, like we was against Spurs, we're not really a team that's good enough to be saying, let's sit on this, keep compact, we won't concede, because we will concede. Do you know what I mean? The other team will up the ante and we struggle to play well for the rest of the time. So that killer instinct to go and get a second, I think, is actually what's hurting us now. Of course, in the long run, it should be one or the other. It should be you should be able to score one goal and shut up shop. You know, De Ligt's playing really well. Harry Maguire's playing well in parts. Luke Shaw's been quite good. But collectively as a back five, with the wing-backs included, whether it's because the midfield don't do enough in terms of protection and we're allowing people in half spaces, or whether somebody makes a mistake at the back, we just always concede. We're not keeping clean sheets, apart from, the Sunderland 2-0. I can't even remember when else we've kept clean sheets. Even against Brighton, look how comfortable we were. 3-0 up. 3-0 up, and we still found way to concede silly goals. Who else? When was the last? Sunderland, isn't it? That's the only one we've had a clean sheet in. Where are the other clean sheets? Is Sunderland the only clean sheet we've had this year? The games we won. Chelsea, that was 2-1. City got spanked. Liverpool was 2-1. Brighton 4-2. Spurs 2-2. Forest 2-2. Burnley 3-2. Fulham 1-1. Brentford got spanked. Guys, is that the only? If we only got one clean sheet this year, I've counted. It is Sunderland, isn't it? That says it all. You can't only have one clean sheet. And the way I just went through them games really quickly, so mad how quick the season goes. Do you see what I'm saying? So that shows you we're not keeping any clean sheets. So if you're not keeping any clean sheets, it's going to be very hard for you to win football matches. You can draw them, but it's going to be difficult to win. And that's the problem. If we're not keeping clean sheets, which we've only kept 1 in 11 games, that shows us we've got to outscore teams until we can fix that. Because we can't fix the midfield anytime soon. And I don't get it. I think it's like 7 clean sheets in our last 45 or something like that, says Show. Crazy numbers, brother. Seriously. It's actually so bad. Do you know what I mean? So again, that's another thing where you go, our defense keeps conceding, and it isn't just the defense. Like, obviously it goes down on the defense for conceding, but when you look at the games and you look at the lack of control, the lack of people who can put their foot on the ball and help us keep the ball, especially coming from midfield, you look at Casemiro tiring in the second half, and you got to bring on Ugarte, and Bruno's lack of sort of discipline and control in there. Like I said, Bruno will always get assists and create chances because he's just that good. But I've always said, him playing in this position, he might have some good games and some bad games, but more than often than not, we are not going to control games or have a strong enough midfield to do real damage with Casemiro and Bruno. Casemiro can play well in isolation when the game looks a certain way, a certain complexion. As the game changes into something else, something that has higher intensity, something that needs different answers, we struggle. Bruno, decision-making from that area isn't going to be the best. That's what you have to take the good and the bad with Bruno from being there. This is what the manager's done. Do you know what I mean? So that's an issue. That's always going to be an issue until it's addressed. And right now it can't be addressed until January, at least. And hopefully we do. But look at Matthias de Ligt. Do you know what I mean? A second for him because he's been unreal. The way he's defending, how aggressive he's been. Of course he can make a mistake or concede a goal, but he's been brilliant. Him and Brian Mbeumo have been our best players this season, without a doubt. Sonny Lemons is up there as well because he's just brought that calmness that we've been needing, but he's been absolutely brilliant. So it just feeds in. Like, we just got to stop. Like I said, I saw people yesterday or the other day crying that nothing's improved, crying like little babies. And it's the same people that a few days before that were trying to cuss people for saying that, you know, Amrim's changed a little bit. Can't make up their minds. Can't make up their minds. The great one. I was trying to say great one. Big up great one. Is that a picture? Who's a picture of? Oh, it's outside. That's Alex. Can't see. Great one says, Flex, there's a nasty stat that hit me yesterday. We are yet to win a second half all season. We have either drawn or lost second halves from Arsenal to Spurs. Yeah, because second half against Liverpool, that was a draw because it 1-1, innit? Sunderland, we drew 0-0. I get what you're saying. You got to win the second half as well. Chelsea, we were 2-0 up and then conceded, so we lost the second half 1-0. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's not great, which is why we can't win more consistently. You know, again, it just highlights another thing. That's probably excuse me, that's in the side of in a column of, you know, work to do. It is. Sorry guys. Throat's dry, boy. So I hear you on that great one. Shout out Cola says our squad strength is weak, so when a sub is made, when a sub is made, it's a weaker team. Agreed. In January or something, or summer, we need 3 midfielders and a left wing back. I've been Amram in. I can see improvement. 100%. It's a personnel issue. We ain't got enough quality. We're in theory. I'll say this. Weirdly, bro, we're kind of lucky we got 1 game a week. Because if we had to compete on multiple fronts with the quality of the squad that we've got, I know you'd probably get more minutes for Xerxes and Kobe could get more games, so it might look a bit different, but the quality still isn't there. Quality still isn't there at all. So like I said, there has been progress. I said this the other week. There has been progress because we're keeping it more simple, going long, and we're not losing football matches in this period. But like Ruben Amorim also said to us, he goes, people will see the results and think that we're improving and we've got a lot better and stuff like that. But the reality is there's still so much work to do. We are nowhere near where he wants us to be. We are nowhere near where we want us to be. Absolutely, we're miles off it. But in terms of keeping pace in the league, that's all we can do. That's all we can do. And then just be honest in our assessment without going too far left, without going too far right. You know, Everton will be a tough game. We know this. You know what I mean? Elimin and Die. We know what he's on. We know what he's on. Do you know what I'm saying? Jack Grealish is much improved this season. We know what he's on. You know what I mean? It's just a guy who will run around in midfield. I get that. But, you know, Jimmy Garner back in there. It's just, I don't know. It's something you got to look at and just be like, just go win that game. Probably won't keep a clean sheet again. You know, remember that. But let's be real. We're not there. Cola says, Flex, you the man. Been watching you for years. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate that. Big up to anyone showing love, man. Shout out some of the Spurs staff, the Spurs stewards of that as well. Give me a little bit of stick, all friendly banter, of course, man. Big up the man them that I bumped into at the Spurs Stadium. If they're watching now, they say they watch all the time. But big up to you, Cola. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for watching me for years, bro. And more years to come. You know what I'm saying? More years to come. Likes, people. What are you lot saying? You lot running them up? Are you running up the likes? Let me go back. 154 people. We ain't even at 200k likes, man said. Not even at 200 likes. Please smash a like on the video. Let's get to 250. We're nearly at 700 people watching live. Let's get to 250. Let me know what you lot are saying. There you go. The likes are flying up now. You lot are doing your thing. If you're just joining in, you know what I'm saying, hit the like button, please. And make sure you subscribe. There you go. 171 likes through the door. Let's get to 250. I'm sure we can do that. You know what I'm saying, Lil Yo? Not even 200 likes is a violation. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Joe as well. Joe says, if you haven't hit the like button, please kindly do it now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Roadblock says there. First he says, bit that like button. Don't bit it or bite it. Yeah, hit it. Yeah. Shout out to you. And we go from there. Everton aren't mugs, regardless if we're at home. Yeah, 100%, John. Everton are not mugs, but that's going to be a difficult game. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be having an easy game against them. I wanted to chat about, where is it? I had it here. Where the thing there? The Sesko injury, just really quickly. We need to hope that it's not bad. You know what I mean? It was his knee. There was videos of him walking out, but he was obviously limping, not in a brace, but not great to see him like that. So hopefully he's not out for too long. Sesko's one you just feel like, I think one thing I've learned from Benjamin Sesko already is that he's still very raw. He's still very raw. What do you how do you lot assess Benjamin Sesko? Like from now? Like how do you think he's done? How do you think he's done? How do you think he's done? Because it's like he's he's drawn so much criticism that I think's been over the top. At the same time, of course, there are things for him to work at. There are things for him to improve on. There's things where he's not quite as sharp as he needs to be when he would have been in Bundesliga. But I think it's perfectly normal for a player that young to be like that, especially in a team like ours that's in transition itself. Sesko no better than Hoyland so far. I like them both, says TikTok. Interesting. He's done okay, says Joe. I feel like he wants to do well, that he overthinks his shots that can be taken quickly, says Chris's Collectibles. I hear that. He does snatch at some chances, doesn't he? Like he's not calm in the moment. He's not. Alan Shearer had done a little bit about some of the half chances he had that should have been into full chances really against Spurs. He had 2, didn't he? So I hear you on that. He is kind of snatching at things. Also, Chris, I just want to does it say on there? Unboxing and Chris's Collectibles. What do you collect, bro? Just out of interest, what do you collect? Shoes, stamps, cards, clothes, ornaments, cars. What do you collect? I just want to know. Like, it says Chris's Collectibles. You know, I just want to know what Chris collects. Let me know, bro. TK Sports says he's very raw. And I think we're getting the same kind of thing. Joe H has good talent, needs time. Xerxes is ahead right now. And that's the thing. I'm very surprised. That he hasn't got more minutes, Xerxes, especially because when Sesko struggled a little bit here or there, I think that actually if you get Xerxes getting consistent minutes off the bench, he's a good player in terms of being able to look after himself, being able to look after the ball, anime figurines, statue, and some cards. Oh, big up, Chris. Big up, Chris. You know my my knowledge on anime is top as well. So yeah, I know all about anime, bro. If you know, you know, Chris. What's your most valuable thing you got, Chris? What's is it gonna be like? Right, so I don't know loads about anime. I'm gonna say one of the most expensive things could be like a I don't know. Is like a shiny Charizard still cost bread? Is that still, do you know what I'm saying? Oh no, but yours is figuring and some cards. Or like a shiny what's the guy with the spiky hair? He looks like the guy from Pokemon, but he's in the other cartoon. The fighting one. What's his name? Dragon Ball Z. Is it Dragon Ball Z? What's that guy's name who looks like Ash from Pokemon? It basically looks like him. Who is that? Saying Charizard is anime. Wait. Saying Charizard is anime is a serious vio. What? Yeah, Goku, whatever his name is. Him, bro. Guy with the spiky hair looks like Ash from Pokemon. I bet a shiny thing of him is worth bread. But also, show, what are you talking about, bro? Saying shiny. Do you know how much piece shiny Charizard is, bro? How much is it now? When I was in school, bro, shiny Charizard at the markets and all that is bread. Oh, that's transfer market. I ain't gonna be able to find out on there. How much is a shiny Charizard worth? Blood fight. eBay, 75 grand. 75 grand. Look at this one. 380 grand. So you lot are laughing at me, bro. I know my stuff. That's ridiculous. Base set, 4th print, 4 of 102, Charizard Hollow. Why has someone put 75 grand? You're joking. Guys, I'm just going to go off topic really quickly. Just to let you know I ain't making this shit up. Look at this. I got to share this. Look at this, guys. Look at this. You don't think I'm taking piss. Look at this. Share screen. Look. Look at that. Look at that. 75 bags. So, listen. Look at this. Pokemon ain't anime. All right, cool. Maybe it ain't. But the guy, Chris, said he collects stuff. Hopefully he's got a shiny Charizard, bro. Mad. Crazy. I'm in the wrong thing. Owen, help. Help. Where is it? Owen. Oh, Owen, I need Owen quick. Oh, there it is. Jesus. Mad thing. That's an original card. That's what I'm saying. It ain't anime. All right, then. Watch this, then. It ain't anime in my backside. Is Pokemon anime? Yes. The Pokemon franchise is a Japanese anime television series. Shut up. Do you know what I'm saying? Are Pokemon considered anime? It is an animated show created and produced in Japan. Therefore, it is by definition an anime. So listen, you lot can try and laugh all you want. Why is it saying that it is then? Why is it saying that it is? I know it is, Mac. You think because I don't know about anime, you think you could tell me that Pokemon's not anime? Of course it is. Foolishness. I'm surprised there's still 700 of you watching. I thought you lot would have went somewhere else after I start talking about that shit. I'm sorry. But back to Chris. Big up to you on your collection, bro. Tabislaw says, Amarim is Ollie in disguise. Oh, here we go. We play kick and run football. Bruno and Cass is our new McFred. What if Isak put his chances? What if Iska put his chances and Ahmad did put a worldie and Delit saving us? What if who put his chances? Who's Iska? I don't know who that is. But basically you're onto Amrim, you're not feeling him. You're very angry with that. You're very angry with that. I hear that. What did Chris say? Pokemon is considered anime. Just that anime fans nowadays consider this style of anime too much for young children, but it's actually anime. Perfectly put from the collector. That's who I'm going to listen to. Yeah. The man who collects this stuff, who knows what he's talking about. Yeah. I actually think Flex is worse than KG at technology. Sometimes I am. I ain't going to lie. I am. Oh, he must mean Sesko. Is that who you mean? Sesko. I didn't understand. Yeah, I didn't understand. And I wanted to talk about Mateus Cunha real quick as well, by the way. Got criticism for his performance against Spurs, which wasn't good. And, you see on X and you see on different things that sometimes you're looking at it and going, people are going, oh, he's only got one goal. He's going under the radar. He hasn't actually played. He hasn't played very well. What are you lot saying about Cunha? I think he's great. I'm so happy we've got him. But yesterday's performance, Spurs' performance was one that was like trying to do too much because we're labeling him as the Maverick and he got what it takes to play for this club, and he's doing the club media and he's the man and everyone loves him and Cantona vibes and talks. I think we may need to just relax on that. And I say he needs to not buy into that too much because it feels like he's just trying to do a bit too much. He doesn't need to do that. He was excellent against Liverpool, excellent against Arsenal. There was a good period against Fulham where he was good. He was good against Brighton. There's been games where he's been good, which haven't transpired into goals or assists, which doesn't need to be the benchmark for everything. But I think it's clear so far he hasn't hit the levels that he's hit at Wolves. That's fine to say that. That's cool. He's got to adjust into what we are. I think up front he can do all right, but it's probably not the best for him. But I think we just being honest, be honest with myself. I don't think we need to say he's been the signing of the summer and he's been, excellent in every single game, because that's not true. But he hasn't been absolutely awful. But who has hit the levels? Well, Brian Mbeumo has hit the levels. He looks like the same player he was at Brentford last year, mate. just carried on. Do you know what I'm saying? I say Brian Mbeumo, I say De Ligt as well. He's been very good. So yeah, I just think Cunha, yeah, CCH is their 50-50 guy. He was the same at Wolves, he's saying. Cunha is our best player when it's all said and done, says G-Man. Not sure I'd say that. Cunha needs a Diallo next to him, says Pyramid Scheme. Clovis says the manager wins the Europa, then manager wins Europa League. We will not be here. We can get angry, but we have positives here. Cunha needs to be played in his natural position, which isn't a centre forward, says United since 1951. Yeah, his position, but he has been playing in his position pretty much all season, bar like a couple of games where he's played up front. Like, who did he play up front? He played up front against Liverpool. He played up front against Spurs. He played up front against Fulham. He played up front against Arsenal. Actually, he has played up front quite a bit, actually, to be fair. He has. Now I'll go through it. He's probably played up front quite a lot. But that was because, like, we were waiting for Sesko to get up to speed, you know what I mean, of where we want him to be at. But yeah, I do. He's not a centre forward. He's not a centre forward. I don't think he needs to be playing centre forward. But I just think more time, and he just needs to. Yeah, all elite. You're right there. He'll be fine. Just needs to relax a bit more. I just think he's trying to do a bit too much. Trying to be a bit too much. Chris Collectible says, "Hear me out. I think Cunha is doing that because we don't have Diallo at his side. Once we get the partnership like Diallo and Mbeumo, then Cunha will shine more." Yeah, I hear that, because with Dallo and Dorgu, he has no relationship. Nobody feels to have any relationship with them on that left-hand side. But you look at Ahmad and Mbeumo, and they're almost telepathic. They're excellent together. So what you're saying is we need someone to complement Matheus Cunha as well. And as well as that, he's just trying too hard. Like Rapper, he's just trying a bit too much. He was man of the match versus Brighton and Liverpool. He had a hamstring injury and played out of position. So in and out of it. Yeah, that's a fair point. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we haven't seen. I think it would be more worrying if we looked at him and was like, I just don't see anything coming from him. It's not. It definitely isn't that. Max says Cunha is great. He just needs to step up by impacting games more. I was supposed to write Isak. All right, okay, fair play. You can't blame him for doing too much when your fan base won't get off his back. Says she. And I don't think anyone's getting. Well, if they are, they shouldn't. You know what I mean? They shouldn't. But yeah, I haven't minded Cunha at all. But I just think there's a little bit that Ruben Amorim's got to. It's okay for us to like big him up and stuff, and like I really, really like him, but we have to be careful because we're doing the Cantona thing. We're saying he's got the license, just like he's trying to show it a bit too much. And that's for Amorim to just tame that a little bit. Say, listen, I still need you releasing the ball quick. Still need you playing that first pass. I don't need you dwelling on it to try and show how strong you are, how good you are. Keep the ball moving. Do you know what I'm saying? JP, shout out to you, bro. Says the way Mbeumo is bagging goals, I might have to go bald. Short Kings, we up. United. Yeah, big up to you. And Terence Pace says, after these 5 games, I'm feeling a tad optimistic, especially after the Liverpool game. Also, if anime is for kids, then Berserk is equivalent to Bluey. I don't even know what Berserk is, but I think it must be an anime, but you're saying it must be equivalent to the kids thing because it's for them. I think. Big up to yourselves, man. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are going to have a good week. You will. Finishing off here, so Ryan says, Sunderland manager who Amorim thinks he is. Rashi putting up numbers people told me Cunha would. Sesko looking more like Weghorst with a bad knee. So Ryan not having it. So I'm saying, someone asked me that yesterday, one of my friends. He was like, do you think that this version of Man United now, where you've got a bit better, would you have been better off just keeping Rashford? I don't know the pronunciation, but I've never heard of that thing in my life. Oh, Berserk. Berserk. I read it as like Berserk. That's mad. Why did I even do that, bro? Berserk. Sorry. As in, you're going berserk. Sorry. I just weren't concentrating. I thought it was some anime, so you had to say it like some different kind of way. But yeah, so Ryan just going in. Listen, it's a long season. You know, I'm sure we'll finish above Sunderland, he says. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Big up yourselves, man. Have a great week. Have a great day. Go and attack what you need to go get done, man. And be strong. And have a great one, man. We'll see you guys very, very soon here on United. Smash the like on the way out. Thanks for rocking with me for the solo flexes view. I needed to get that off my chest. Let's just all just take that, including me included, like I said. Calmer, a little bit calmer. You know what I'm saying? Big up, guys. I'm out of here. We out of here. Take care. Peace.